Hello there, this is Nick. I am recording this video to give a quick demo of using the value prop canvas. So this was initially done to go along with a course that I'm running for Foundervine. So if you're part of Foundervine, hello. If not, welcome anyway. So what I'm assuming here is that you're familiar with the value proposition canvas. You have done some training on it, or you've been part of one of my training courses, or you've looked at some slides. So what I'm going to do here is map out myself working on the value prop canvas. I'm not going to go back through things that have been covered in other sessions. So I'm going to move pretty quickly. Now, what I'm doing is I've got quite a clear customer segment that I'm starting from here, which is startup founders. Now, obviously that segment, you could get bigger or smaller. You can slice that up into different stages of startups and so on, but that's where I'm going to keep it for now because that's what I'm comfortable with. Today I'm starting from the product or service because I already work with startup founders. They're my main customer type, main customer segment. And I have quite a good idea of a new product that I want to produce for them. And that product is value proposition workshops. So that's what I'm starting from. And the reason I want to do this is because I want to really examine and investigate whether doing a value prop workshop is a good idea. And I'm not going to spend too long on this. So actually what I'm going to try and do is put a timer into Miro. Okay, cool. So I got my timer. Now I'm going to go 15 minutes. I'm going to give myself. Let's see what I can do in 15. So what are the customer jobs what are the jobs that startup fans are trying to get done as relates to value proposition workshops? So maybe trying to learn about value props. They may be trying to find product market fit. They may be trying to, what else? They may already be in the process. They might be trying to build landing pages. I'm trying to build MVPs. Jobs to be done. So we always have functional, social, emotional. So the functional job would be training myself, my team. Now I know that I'm always asking myself the question, what are people really trying to get at? Which is build a successful product. People love. What are the jobs are people trying to get done as relate to value propositions and a workshop you may go to? One job may be to find answers to current problems. I'm just going to do a quick exercise to stack rank these in the most critical to the least critical jobs. Most critical, build a product, find product market fit, to learn. Training is pretty similar. Probably finding answers to current problems is going to be more critical to people. And this is not how I think they are, but what the order that I think customers would stack rank in. Okay, good. So we have functional, social, and emotional jobs. So am I missing any? So some social jobs, emotional jobs, it feels like feel confident doing value testing. gets. That is pretty high up people's agenda. Okay, so I'm going to move on now to gains. Just recolor these to yellow. Come here into gains, and I'm going to start to talk about how is success measured when it comes to value propositions and learning about value propositions. So clearly, customers loving product. That itself is measured through high, good NPS. Strong retention. I think we can just, for the here, we can just say generally good feedback. How else do you measure the success of the jobs that we're defining here? So one way you would do that is by being able to identify and then solve hypotheses. And I think this is more of a job. So I'm going to move this over here. It's a pretty high job. So I'm going to move it back into here. So what are the gains? So when I've identified and then resolved value hypotheses, how do I know that? So one gain here is consistent positive results in user tests. Gain would be strong understanding of customer segment, jobs, pains, gains. Another would be, I'm thinking something around moving fast, but moving decisively. So high velocity, high learning velocity, which you could measure by how many things you're learning, how quickly. So this is quickly learning. Okay, cool. Getting some good gains there. I'm just now going to ask myself more specifically about workshops. So a gain in a workshop would be getting everything you need to move forward in one day. So gain is how you measure success. You're able to move forward immediately with value testing. Another gain would be getting all of the team on the same page. Okay. Anything else specific to a workshop? So what I'm proposing here is a workshop, not just a coaching session or something very quick. So workshops are immersive Q&A. Okay, so again would be practical experience. So actually I think part of feeling confident comes from part of feeling confident comes from practical examples. That's feedback I've had in the past. People like getting practical examples of value props and testing and everything. So finding practical examples. Testing. Good. Okay, so some of the pains. So here I'm thinking, like, what do I know already? So I know a pain, a problem that people have, something that stops people doing their jobs is not knowing what customers really want. And you can break that down into knowing which customer segments or addressing the wrong customer segment, building the wrong features. Marketing comes into it as well. So marketing, ineffective marketing. These are all things that stop people achieving the jobs. That's not a word. Marketing. Finding product market fit. So again, product market fit fails because of either wrong market or wrong product. Probably a pain here people have is not knowing modern tool confusion. Oh, okay, so something about tools. So I think there's a job here which is sort of maybe quite important, which is knowing which tools to use. So pain here is not knowing, or confusion, which tools to use. Landing pages. It's definitely something that confuses people, which is confusion over terminology. So it's probably not a job. People are probably not trying to find out terminology, because if they were, they'd be just finding it out. So I think that's a pain. It's something stopping them building product people love, finding product market fit and feeling confident. So what about in my lower priority jobs? Because I may have the wrong priority, so I want to make sure I brainstorm some pains and gains for them as well. So pain in training, I know from when I was finding training, is finding the right training. I don't think cost is so much for pain, because I've personally found, in conversations I've had, it's more finding the training than cost. But I've just realized that that's a hypothesis. So I'm going to, as I've now come up with a hypothesis, I'm going to write down a hypothesis. So cost is secondary to finding the course. The pain point, I think, is trustability of training. So finding the right training comes from being able to trust the trainer. Okay, cool. So I could carry on and I could keep on going, but I think I've got a pretty nice first set of jobs, pains, and gains here. So I've defined what we call the customer profile, the circle. So the next thing that I could do after having defined the customer profile is to go out and start to test this. So I think that is what I will try and do. I'll try and talk to some startup founders and ask them the last time, have they ever tried to find anyone to do training for value propositions? When they did, why were they doing that? What were they trying to achieve? How did they measure success? What were the pain points that they found? And I will then iterate on this value proposition canvas and add in the things that I'd learned. So that's all for now in this part. I will be back for another part later in the course.